The Brothers of Liberty, here to remind you what true freedom is. Hello and welcome to a new edition of the Brothers of Liberty, always reminding you what true freedom is. After I did the news headlines for today, I realized there's a couple more subjects I want to talk on video here. So, got another video from me. This one is actually about Senator Bernie Sanders from Vermont, the independent who uh, aligns himself with the Democratic caucus. Now, he actually went to Twitter on October 1st, and this is what he said. And he said the same thing also today, or similar. But this is what he said: two senators cannot be allowed to defeat what 48 senators and 210 House members want. We must stand with the working families of our country. We must combat climate change. We must delay passing the infrastructure bill until we pass a strong reconciliation bill. And that's what he said. So, I guess he believes the minority should decide over the majority, because he failed to mention that, yes, he says that two senators shouldn't be allowed to block 48 senators. Well, guess what? There's more than 48 senators in the U.S. Senate, Mr. Sanders. In fact, when you do the counting, you have 100 U.S. senators. 50 of them are Republican, 48 are Democrat, and 2 are independent. Yourself and Senator King out of Maine. However, you and Senator King aligned yourself up as the Democratic caucus, because you state, oh, if you're not in a caucus, you don't get leadership. I think that's just a way of BSing, saying that you're independents, but you're really Democrats, but you want to claim you're independent. Because you two vote everything on the Democrat side. Now, Joe Manchin, who is a Democratic senator, seems more like an independent to me than you or Senator King, because he actually sometime will step outside the Democratic Party and vote in favor of the Republicans, depending on what bills they are and stuff. I see him more as an independent than you are. And you talk about 210 U.S. representatives want this. What about the other 225, which is also a majority? And mind you, the House is not in a Republican majority, but a Democrat majority, which means that there's only 210 senators, or I'm sorry, representatives that are for the bill. That means there has to be some Democrat representatives who's also against the bill. So I guess he doesn't remember how to do math. I don't know. Or he has that communist way of thinking that the minority should rule the majority. And we don't like that thinking. So now he also wants to say that polls overwhelmingly support these bills. The American people overwhelmingly wants it. So let's look at that. And not just going from two polls here. A Pew Research Center poll states that only 51% of Americans supporting Biden's infrastructure bill and only 49% backing a reconciliation package. That doesn't sound like an overwhelmingly majority to me. And in the poll by Bipartisan PAC No Label showed that 60% of Americans actually agree with Senator Joe Manchin on pausing to let's see how much more spending is going to affect the economy. Again, that's 60%, 60. Are you hearing this, Mr. Sanders? I don't know if you are or not. I'm pretty sure you don't watch my YouTube video because I only have 12 subscribers right now, and the Brothers of Liberty is slowly growing, but will always still be the voice of freedom and liberty. But yes, now polls tend to go for what the Republicans have polls, Democrats have polls, everybody has polls. Polls are unreliable. For instance, in South Carolina, the state I live in, and during the 2020 election, it showed Senator Lindsey Graham and his opponent, I can't remember his name, but they were in the polls that showed them neck and neck. And then, but in the actual election, the Democrat candidate ended up around 9 o'clock, 9:30, conceding because it was overwhelmingly decided that, despite they spent millions and millions of dollars, the most expensive Senate race in America was in South Carolina, and he couldn't even get close enough to have it. Whatever, he had to concede at around 9:30, somewhere around that time. So, yes, you want to say that, oh, look at these polls. I only believe you do polls that would represent what you want. Like, I'm sorry, you do a poll in LA, they're overwhelmingly Democrats. So, of course, they're going to support the Democrat initiative. You do a poll in Texas, they're going to support a Republican initiative. So, I actually want to see a poll that takes the same amount of people from LA and take the same amount of people from, I don't know, Kansas or Oklahoma, and then you'll have a more even poll. But that's just my opinion. So when you talk about you're trying to make a plea that, oh, these two senators shouldn't be allowed to do this, well, guess what? It's not two, it's 52. 5-2. My kids know how to do math, so. But that's just my opinion. I'd like to hear what your opinion is. Like, share, subscribe, and if you have a topic for us to discuss, you can email us at brothersaliberty76@gmail.com, and it's in our About page as well. And once again, we're always here to remind you what true freedom is.